Hello, everybody. Good evening, bonsoir, bonjour. It depends wherever you are in the part of the world. We greet you tonight. I am so excited to be with my guest today on the Empower Unity TV. Hello, Miss Linda. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Very excited. I know many people are definitely going to join us very soon. So, guys, hello from Facebook, for YouTube, and also LinkedIn. Make sure that you invite your friend because tonight is the night. Many of you guys been DMing, making sure that you have the right time. So, this is the time that we've been all waiting for. Listening to Miss Linda Hollander. She's definitely a CEO of Sponsor Concierge, and we are just really good for a treat tonight. She's going to give us some very good nuggets and she will share with us her journey. So I'm just going to read briefly with her before we ask her our traditional questions to her, like we always do with everybody. And Miss Linda, can you just, tell us a little bit about how was your day was today?
My day was great. I just got back in town. It
Mm,
is Labor Day here in the US, but
yes,
last week I was doing a live speaking event. And it's really, really nice to get back out there and talk to people and speak live.
that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Wonderful. And yeah, and we just have a holiday, so everybody been traveling and so forth. So I'm glad that you're back, and then we are with you tonight. That's awesome. I really like what I was just reading her bio, guys. She has a very lengthy bio, so I'm not gonna read all, but definitely, Miss Linda, she's amazing. She's been working in the sponsorship industry more than 20 years. I really like her last paragraph when she said, I owe all my success to people in my life, which is including her family, her friends. That really resonates with me because that's something also I'm very close to my family and they all always been my champion too. So I'm so glad really about that you mentioned on your profile. Also, she's been working, like I said, more than 20 years in this industry. So she has a lot of nuggets to give us, guys. She's definitely also been featured in many podcasts, many uh, television network, including ABC, CBC, Fox, Bloomberg Radio, and so on. So she has a really lengthy radio. So guys, all your questions today, really juggle all your question and be ready with your pen and your pencil so you and your notebook you can be able to take notes because she's really here to be able to share with us just a little journey today because we only have few minutes, but she's gonna come back again, in the future for next month where she's gonna give us more in the webinar. So we're very glad that she's gonna be able to be part of us. She's gonna be part of the Empower You family. Okay, we have few words for you today that we usually ask our guests. Your first word that you can tell us exactly what you think. It's commitment. When you hear the word commitment, what comes in your mind?
The word commitment, I like the word commitment very much because when I was single, when I was dating, it was really hard to find people who made commitments. And I am very much into commitment and loyalty. It means a lot to me because before I met my husband, Leslie, I was in an abusive relationship with a man and I dumped that dude. And then 3 weeks later, I met my husband and we have been married for over 24 years. So I would say that's an extraordinary commitment, knowing that I live in California, where there's a whole lot of divorces here. So I'm very committed to my husband. I'm very committed to, as you said, my family, my parents. I have a daddy date every Sunday night with my father,
Oh, that's
who I
awesome.
love dearly. And he's a wonderful person. And I've had my best friend since we were 13 years old in junior high. So that's what the
Wow.
word commitment means to me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Linda. Your second one would be network.
network means a lot of things. It could be, like you said earlier, it could be a television network, but networking means to me to meet people, to share resources with people, to add value to people's lives, either with what you could provide in your business, what you could provide to them personally, to be there as a friend, to be there as a confidant, or to be there as a mentor.
Awesome. Your third word is empowerment.
Empowerment. Wow. Well, I have been in the empowerment business for over 20 years, and especially in the women's empowerment business, because starting my business, getting sponsors, got me out of that abusive relationship that I was in and got me out of the poverty trap where I was afraid to go to my own mailbox in the morning because there were bills there I could never, ever afford to pay. So I'm very much into empowerment for women, for men, for all the diversity communities, and for everybody.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, I know you do that every day. And your fourth word is marketing.
Marketing. Oh my God, I could talk for like hours on marketing because that's also something that I do every day is, and I believe everybody should do one thing to market their business every day, whether it's sending out an email, a social media tweet, a post, a video, whatever you do. Please do something, one little thing to market your business every day. I have people write marketing plans in their sponsor proposals. And if we have time, we could talk about how to get sponsors. And sponsors want to know about how you market because you can include them in your marketing.
Absolutely. Yes. And your last word, loyal client.
Loyal clients, those are the gems and the touchstones in my life are my loyal clients. I love them. I cherish them. I would do anything for them. When I hire a new employee, I say, if you are ever rude to a client, that is it. You are terminated. No questions asked, because I will not tolerate that.
Absolutely. Oh, that's really good. Thank you so much, guys. If you're watching us through YouTube and Facebook group or Facebook, make sure that you're inviting somebody. Don't just come and just listening for yourself. This is today we're writing down every single thing that Miss Linda is saying because this is very key to your business as well. Remember that the reason why we created this platform to be able to give you tools and strategy. So make sure that you definitely share and really invite others to be able to join us because we have a lot of things fun. And at the end, guys, we're gonna have some things too, really that we're gonna continue to, to talk with Miss Linda. Miss Linda, our first question to you: since COVID, how do you think differently in the sponsorship industry? I know you've been really in this industry for many years, but what are some of the few things that you had to really adjust or adapt? Can you share with us?
Absolutely. First of all, it is a myth that sponsors are not funding during COVID. After
Yeah.
COVID,
Mm-hmm.
I get things across my desk every day. Sponsors are funding all kinds of virtual events. Sponsors are funding everything. And 80% of sponsors will fund you even during the pandemic. It has changed in the pandemic. Sponsorship right now, it's not as event focused. And sponsors want you to promote them all year long. And the way they want you to promote their company is by things that you do all the time anyway. Email marketing, social media, videos, even traditional marketing like press releases,
Yeah.
contests, things like that. Yeah, and now a lot of people have a format like this where they do their own show. You can interview your sponsor on your show. So that's what's changed in the pandemic. Mobile apps have also been come to the forefront during the pandemic. So you can create mobile apps to promote your sponsors. You could do virtual event bags. It's become a whole lot more creative in the ways that you promote your sponsors in the digital platforms.
Wow, that's really. I'm glad you mentioned that because again, guys, I just been reading and doing some research on my own about Miss Linda, and a lot of places they mention her name as the wealthy bag lady, and to me, it's like she's really the queen of sponsorship. You know, there's so many people, but to me, that thing that name really resonates with her because she really guys teach you and she really give you the tools that you need. So I really like that. You know, like when I was doing research, I just listening to the word and see exactly how everybody they just say, yeah, a lot of testimonials. So I was like, wow, that's amazing. Our other question to you is make we always make sure that like you said, the sponsor people always have met about, well, maybe I just have to be this, I have to do this and that, and not the whole package. Can you just really walk us through about really in few minutes how the process really you take on a client, how you start with them to be able to prepare them so they can be able to have the confidence to be able to write a proposal or to be able to meet with the sponsor? Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. First of all, let me give you the definition of sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
Sponsorship is connecting a company to people who buy things, and they pay you to do that. So that's why everybody wants to know about sponsorships, because you could get 10,000, 25,000, 50,000, $100,000 from each sponsor. There's no limit to the number of sponsors you can have. So this can be quite lucrative. So let me give you the process for getting sponsors. It's kind of a 3-step process. The first thing
Mm-hmm.
you want to do is you want to make what we call the sponsor wish list. Now, in the sponsor wish list, you're going to list your companies that you would love to work with, companies that can fund you. When I first started getting sponsors, I was doing a women's small business expo. Remember, I've been in the
Yes.
empowerment business for a long time.
Right. Yes.
And I thought, okay, who sells to women business owners? And I got Staples, I got Bank of America, I got IBM as my first sponsors, and Walmart, because they sell to women. So that's how you're going to think about the companies that could sponsor you. That's step one. Step two is the proposal. You have to have what's called an industry standard sponsor proposal, because you're asking for money that you don't
Mm-hmm.
have to pay back. But in order to get that funding, you have to provide a proposal. And then step three is negotiating those deals with the sponsors. And we recommend a 1-year deal, between 10 and 100,000 for each sponsor. And then
Mm-hmm.
there's something called renewals. So if a company likes you, they'll fund you this year and the next year and the next year. I've had that with Citibank. I've had that with FedEx. My clients have had renewals and multi-year contracts with Verizon, Black and Decker, just to name a few.
Wow, that's very good. Absolutely. And thank you for really walking us through that. Another thing that I really wanted to know, which I know many of our viewers too, and thank you guys for setting a thank you, Mountain of Inspiration. Thank you again. Really, my good friends. Laura, I'm very glad that many of you guys are here. Another thing that we like to know, Miss Linda, how was your mindset when you first started? And when you compare from 20 years from now and today, how was really your mindset? Can you talk us about really the mindset?
My mindset was terrible. My self confidence was not in the gutter, it was below the gutter. And that's why I put up with an abusive relationship for 4.5 years, because I had no self confidence. I thought that was what I deserved. But fortunately, I listened to shows like this. And one day I had an epiphany and I said, I'm not going to be a victim anymore. And I want my life to make a difference. So that was the shift when I said, you know what? I've got one life. I want to live it with purpose, and I want to help people. I want to help them discover their greatness. I want to create transformation in people. And that really was the turning point in my life, where the trajectory of my success changed forever.
Wow. That mindset is really the key, guy. Oh, we have some question really already start pouring. That's awesome. That's good. So we're gonna take that in few minutes. But definitely, that's the most important thing, mindset. Because sometimes you really think that maybe you're not ready for that, but you wanna do it. So I'm glad that you really mentioned about that. Another question is, what do you say? What did you say? Can you share with us? What did you say when you got your first no?
When I got my first no, uh, well, I'll tell you my no's and then I'll tell you my first yes. So,
Yes,
uh,
absolutely.
when I got one of my first no's, I was devastated. I'm not going to kid you because,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a new relationship. You say, oh, maybe this is going to go somewhere. Maybe this is going to be the love of my life. And we're going to do all these wonderful things and have all these great experiences together. And I started fantasizing in my mind of what I would do with this great sponsor. And then it didn't work out. So I just kind of said, well, I'm just going to move on to the next. Thank you very much. Let's move on to the next. I want to tell you about my first yes.
Yeah.
I want to let everybody know that they could get sponsors on concept, even if they just have an idea in their head.
Mm-hmm.
If you're an
Yes.
author, your book doesn't have to be finished yet. If you want to do a show, even if the show is not live yet, you could get a sponsor. I got a
Mm-hmm.
sponsor before my very first event. I got actually 3 sponsors, but my first sponsor was Bank of America because I'm in Los Angeles, California. And what do you think of with Los Angeles? Traffic jams, right? So I was in a traffic jam and I'm hot and I'm exhausted and I just want to get home. But I look up
Mm-hmm.
and I see a billboard up there for Bank of America. And I said, oh my God, what if they could be a sponsor? But I just had an idea in my head. And I said, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? When I came home, I self-sabotage. Talk about a terrible mindset. I said, they're going to reject me. I'm going to make a fool out of myself. I just don't want any part of that. So I buried it for 2 weeks. But my mission to help people was so strong that I did pick up that phone. I called
Yes.
them and the guy said, come on in. So I
Mm-hmm.
put on my one good suit. I took my beat up car that had paint peeling and upholstery shot, and I parked 2 blocks down so they couldn't see me, put on my heels. And I came into Bank of America with that proposal that I told you need. And he
Mm-hmm.
looks at the proposal, and I mean, thank God there was a desk between us. My knees were knocking. Uh, I was so nervous, but he hands it back to me and he says, yes, we'll do a sponsorship with you. It was my very first one. I wanted to scream, but I'm in a fancy bank building with my one good suit.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just took it from him. I shook his hand. And by the way, I had to wipe my hand because it was so sweaty. And I shook it. I walked the 2 blocks back to my car. And boy, when I got in the car, I did the
Yeah.
happy dance because there's nothing like the feeling of getting your first sponsor. It is a
That's right.
validation. Somebody believes in you, and that
Mm-hmm.
somebody is a leading edge company. And it's just an amazing feeling. There's nothing like being paid by sponsors. Some of my clients travel the world and they get paid by sponsors. They do
Mm-hmm.
events, they do shows. It's basically a way to fund your dreams.
Well, absolutely. I mean, just by listening to you, definitely, I'm hoping, guys, you are taking notes, and especially month of inspiration. Say, oh, yeah, please tell the back lady to slow down. I think they're taking notes. Everything you're saying.
I'm sorry, I talk
That's
fast when I
good.
get excited.
Of course, yeah. And they want you to really talk about also on concept, like they want you to elaborate more on that if you can.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do a women's small business expo because I wanted to show other women to do what I had done. Because
Mm-hmm.
starting my business, it got me out of the little rent controlled apartment it got me out of the debt that was choking me. I was able to travel the world. I was able to buy my first home as a single woman. And I wanted to have other women be empowered through entrepreneurship.
Yes.
So what I did, and you all can do this, so write this down, is I researched my audience and I went to Google and I said, okay, tell me about the women's business owners. Tell me
Mm-hmm.
about that market. And I found out that women are starting businesses at twice the rate of men.
Mm-hmm.
That
That's
women
right.
make or influence over 85% of the purchasing decisions in America. And that is what I told my sponsors. I told them, hey, here's who I can connect you with. And that's
Yeah.
why I got those 3 sponsors before my first event: Bank of America, Walmart, and IBM.
Wow, guys, you taking note? I hope so, definitely. Now, my other question to you, Miss Linda, do you work just with anybody, or you also screen people through to see, this is might be, the person might be ready for me, or some people you just say, well, maybe not now, but you can give them some game, some game plan, so maybe they can come back, or you just work with everybody. Who do you work with?
Talk to me, because it's not for everybody. So, if sponsorship is not for you, I will let you know, or I will recommend somebody for you.
Mhm.
So because I don't want to waste people's time. I'm sure, I don't want to waste any resources that people
Yeah.
have. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's not for everybody. So if I can work with you, great. If not, we just kind of say, hey, here's some suggestions for you to go and do this yourself. And either way, I do a free sponsor strategy session. So you're going to walk away with amazing stuff. When I do a sponsor strategy session with somebody, it's magic. I tell them how to find money in ways they never even thought about or considered.
Wow, that's very good. Now, do you also, I know that you work with business owners company, but do you also work with sponsorship? I mean, with the non-profits.
Okay, here's who we work with. We work with business owners.
Mm-hmm.
We work with influencers. So if you speak, if you want to write a book, if you
Yes,
have a show, a radio
yes.
show, a podcast, a
Mm-hmm.
blog, we
Yes.
would love to work with you. We work
Mm-hmm.
with nonprofit charities.
Good.
Uh, we work with people who do events. We work
Mm-hmm.
with people in sports and athletics. So that's mainly who we work with.
Good. Guys, I hope you're listening, because just in a few minutes, we're going to be really making sure that we give you again a website where you're going to register, not to continue to be in touch with Miss Lina, because she's just giving us many, many, many good nuggets. So we don't want you to miss. So making sure that you stick until the end, so we can be able to give you more, exactly what you need and more. And another question that people were asking me today, to be able to ask you, because again, we talked about the mindset already. They were asking me about, for me to ask you, who did you have to, kind of really put aside, like on your circle? Because as you know, in business, not everybody believes in you, but you already mentioned your family and friends. But did you have to do some cleaning, spaces for other people to come? Can you talk more about that?
Absolutely. And this is going to surprise you, but it was my father. Um, yeah, because I had art school training. In college, all I ever took was art classes, because everybody who saw me draw or saw me paint as a
Mhm.
child said, oh, my dear, you have to become a professional artist. And I loved it. And I thought business was completely boring. So I took art classes, and then I started 2 businesses that failed. And I went to my dad and I said, Dad, I want to start another business. And what do you think my dad said to me? What do you think he said?
Are you okay?
Exactly. He didn't think I was okay in the head. He thought I was crazy. And it was kind of
Yeah.
hurtful, because he,
Mhm.
didn't believe in me and didn't believe in my dreams. So fortunately, I was young, I was rebellious, and I had a rift with my father for about a year, which was hard, because
Mm.
my father is 5'3". I'm not
Yes.
even 5 feet tall, so I take after my dad exactly. But he was always a giant to me. I wanted my dad's approval more than anything, right? We all
Yes,
do.
yes.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I did have to separate and put some distance between me and him. And what I did was I found other entrepreneurs and other people, and I listened to shows like this, and people who could support me and hold my visions in light. But my father did come around. He called me and he said, Linda, I am so sorry for anything I said that was hurtful. And here's what he said to me. He
Mm-hmm.
said, I am so proud of you. And when he said that, oh my
Yeah.
God, I thought my heart would burst wide open. I was
Yeah.
so happy. And if anybody listening to us has children, please tell them every day how proud you are of them. They are
Yeah.
dying to hear it. And today, my dad is my biggest fan. We're embarrassing when we're together. We're so close. So if you have people in your life that you think should be more supportive, just give them some time, because my father had an agenda. He was being a protective dad. He didn't want to see me
Yes.
fail like I'd
That's
failed
right.
before, right?
Mm-hmm.
And nobody has your vision. Just remember that.
Yes, that's true, guys. And this is very key to you, even as a business owners, or you just started. Make sure that you really, like, make sure that everybody around you, they only feed you positivity. Make sure that they believe in you, and if they do not at the moment, that's okay. Believe in yourself every day. Make sure that, I don't know, you have a vision board, you have a book, you have whatever that really makes you really fuel you in a very positive way. To me, it's really, the word of God, and the affirmation. I like quotes. So every single time when I wake up in the morning, that really, I really reaffirm myself, and that really helps me a lot. So, and I'm so we all have our own ritual. Make sure that you do that for yourself, because your mindset, it's everything. Okay, yes. So, Miss Linda, can you tell us more about what next for you, and also for our viewers, how they can be able to be in touch with you?
Absolutely. Okay. So, what's next for me is the Sponsor Secret Seminar. I've been doing it for 12 years, and it is virtual this year, very interactive. The dates for the Sponsor Secret Seminar are September 21st to September 23rd. Is a Tuesday through Thursday. And that's where we package you for success. You leave with a complete action plan that's customized for you, and you get to talk with sponsors. Most sponsor conferences, the sponsor comes, they talk for a couple minutes, they leave. You don't get any of their contact information. We give you access. You'll talk one-on-one with sponsors. You'll
Mhm.
practice your pitching. We have a Shark Tank. We have a game show. We have a storytelling workshop, because storytelling is so important right now in the world of sponsorship.
Mhm.
I'm going to give you, on the bottom, you'll see successwithsponsors.com. I
Yes.
have a free gift for you at successwithsponsors.com, and that
Mhm.
is the number one secret for getting sponsors. Also at successwithsponsors.com, you'll see information about the Sponsor Secret Seminar, and then you can schedule that free sponsor strategy session with me.
Absolutely, guys, you have heard. So don't forget in September, like she mentioned, and make sure you really go and register successwithsponsor.com. Make sure you do that so you can be able to get a chance to go and be able to listen and get a chance to listening and talking with the sponsors. So that's really something. And if you cannot, it's going to be virtual. Make sure that you come back. Again, Miss Linda, thank you so much. We are just blessed to have you today. And guess what, guys? She's coming back. Remember, guys, I told you that we have a webinar. Well, we have a new date. There's a story behind that. Miss Linda was available, but somebody had a different date. And then, so again, just to tell you, we have a new date. So make sure we're going to put the flyer and everything. So after her conference, you come back again here. We're gonna be with Miss Linda October 9th, actually, from 1 to 2:30. So we're gonna be able to have a webinar with her. She's gonna really pour into us again. So guys, make sure that you do share this video so people, also other people, can be able to watch and also be able to subscribe to Success with Sponsor with Miss Linda. Thank you guys. Merci beaucoup de nous suivre ce soir. On était avec Miss Linda. Elle nous a donné beaucoup d'éléments à propos de sponsorship. So, je veux vraiment que tu puisses écouter ce vidéo et puis aussi partager, parce que c'est vraiment important pour nous. Et Miss Linda va encore revenir le 9 octobre. Donc, en tout cas, je suis tellement dans la joie. Merci beaucoup de se connecter. Merci beaucoup, mes frères et sœurs, sur YouTube, Facebook. Thank you, guys. And I'm looking forward to see you guys again next Monday. Thank you.